Joe Rogan wasn't worried about 3 Atlas. Just another space rock, right? Subscribe to the channel for more. But then Voyager picked up a strange signal, a pattern, a sync, something that shouldn't exist. That's when everything changed, and suddenly 3 Atlas didn't feel so harmless. Voyager's whisper, a signal from the edge of forever. Voyager 1 wasn't supposed to make it this far. When it launched back in 1977, its mission was simple: explore the outer planets and then fade into the dark. No one expected that almost 50 years later, it would still be alive, drifting more than 15 billion miles from Earth, beyond the reach of our sun's influence in the vast emptiness of interstellar space. And yet it's still sending us messages. These aren't the kind of signals you might expect from a modern spacecraft. Voyager speaks slowly at just 160 bits per second, and it takes over 22 hours for a single transmission to reach Earth. It's like getting a postcard from a friend who moved to another galaxy. But what's astonishing is not just that Voyager is still whispering to us. It's what those whispers are saying. Recently, Voyager sent back something odd. The data seemed at first like static, but when researchers fed it into a new quantum AI, the system flagged something that no one could explain. A strange repeating structure was buried deep within the noise. Scientists named it the Omega pattern. It's like finding a melody hidden in static. One researcher said, "You don't expect music in that kind of silence. This wasn't a glitch." The same structure showed up in 3 completely different systems: plasma wave sensors, magnetic field readings, and even the timing of the data packets themselves. Think of it like 3 separate clocks, all built to measure different things, suddenly ticking in perfect rhythm, without being told to. The structure wasn't just repeating, it was looping, harmonic, and organized, like something intelligent or deliberate, though possibly natural. But how Voyager is running on 1970s technology? How could something that old detect something this advanced? And yet, here we are. The moment you realize a 50-year-old spacecraft might have just picked up a cosmic rhythm, a pattern that spans multiple physical systems, is the moment you start to wonder if the universe is whispering back. Up next is the real mystery. What is the Omega pattern, and why is it showing up now? The Omega pattern, 3 clocks in perfect sync. When the data came in, nobody expected to see a pattern, especially not across 3 different instruments. But there it was, a plasma wave anomaly, a geomagnetic pulse, and a timing irregularity in the data packets. At first they seemed unrelated, but when aligned they danced in perfect synchrony. Imagine 3 different musicians, each in a separate room playing random notes, and then suddenly, without warning, they begin to play the same song at the same time. That's what the Omega pattern looked like. It wasn't a random spike or one-off glitch. It was a repeating, structured harmonic lattice, a kind of cosmic loop that didn't match anything we've seen before. Scientists tried to brush it off as noise, but the coherence across instruments ruled that out. When 3 completely different systems agree, one astrophysicist noted, you either have a very big coincidence or you've discovered something real. This is where things get chilling. Each instrument on Voyager was built to measure a different kind of energy. Waves, fields, particles. They were never meant to work together like this. And yet they're suddenly in sync, as if reacting to the same unseen force. Could it be a natural resonance? A kind of deep space echo bouncing through the interstellar medium? Or is it something else, something designed? This kind of 3-channel alignment is extremely rare in space science. It's not just one sensor behaving oddly. It's a trio all agreeing on the same hidden beat. The real question isn't just what Omega is, but what it means. Are we seeing the signature of a new kind of physics? Or is it possible we're looking at something intentional, like a message woven into the fabric of space? And just when scientists began digging deeper, something even stranger entered the scene. An unexpected guest from the stars, 3 Atlas. We'll look at that next. Quantum AI, the codebreaker from another universe. So how did we even find this Omega pattern in the first place? Enter quantum AI. Not just a faster computer, but an entirely new kind of thinking machine. Traditional computers work like brilliant calculators, fast, logical, and focused. But quantum AI plays a different game. It doesn't just analyze data. It sees through chaos, recognizing patterns that would take a human a lifetime to uncover, if we could at all. This isn't science fiction. Researchers have already used quantum machine learning to detect hidden regularities in some of the universe's most chaotic events, like gamma-ray bursts, sudden high-energy explosions that come from the farthest reaches of the cosmos. When humans looked at those bursts, they saw noise. But quantum AI saw something else, repeating structures, rhythms buried in what looked like randomness. So when Voyager's strange data stream came in, scientists fed it into the same kind of system. And that's when things got weird. The AI immediately locked onto Omega, flagging it again and again across separate analyses. It wasn't fooled. To the quantum system, this wasn't noise. It was something structured, something real. That's the beauty of quantum AI. It doesn't need to know what it's looking for. It simply searches for coherence patterns that shouldn't exist unless something deeper is happening. And the Voyager signal had that, a lot of it. Imagine trying to hear a whisper in a stadium filled with shouting. A regular computer might notice volume spikes, but a quantum AI finds the whisperer's rhythm, the tone, the emotion, and says, "This shouldn't be here." But it is. "We've built a machine that listens differently than we do," said one developer, "and what it's hearing might change everything." And here's what's even more remarkable. This isn't just about decoding strange patterns in old data. If the Omega pattern turns out to be real and meaningful, then this could be the moment when quantum intelligence meets interstellar intelligence. Or maybe it's just nature's voice, clearer than we ever realized. Because what happens next isn't about algorithms or models anymore. It's about asking the big question. What if Omega isn't just data? What if it's trying to tell us something? That's where things get even stranger. What if Omega is more than physics? Once you see the Omega pattern, it's hard to unsee it. That repeating structure, that harmony, that sense of something organizing the chaos. At first, scientists assumed it had to be a quirk, a misfire in the sensors, or an alignment of unrelated phenomena. But with every new test, that assumption gets harder to hold on to. So what if we're wrong? What if Omega isn't just a glitch or a physical wave pattern? What if it's a message, a code hidden in the universe itself? Some scientists are starting to think that's not such a wild idea. If Omega turns out to be real, it could mean a major leap forward in how we communicate across space. Picture deep space probes like Voyager's descendants using the Omega signal as a kind of built-in communication boost. Smarter, more efficient, and less prone to error. That could change the way we talk to spacecraft beyond our solar system. But Omega might be even more than that. It could also act as a kind of early warning system, detecting interstellar shockwaves long before they reach us, bursts of high-energy plasma that can damage satellites, fry electronics, or worse. If we can read the pattern, we might be able to see these dangers coming and build better defenses. And yet, for all the practical benefits Omega could offer, the biggest question still hangs in the air. Is it natural or is it deliberate? Could the universe itself be carrying a kind of code? A structure that repeats not because of random chance, but because it's built that way. Think about it. Snowflakes, spiral galaxies, seashells, all of nature is full of patterns. Why not space? Some researchers argue that we may be decoding the universe's own language, not just interpreting it. Others are more cautious. They remind us that humans are great at finding patterns where none exist, that we might be projecting meaning onto something that's just beautifully random. But here's the thing. Even if Omega is natural, it still matters, because something this synchronized, this complex, and this widespread forces us to re-examine what we think we know about space, about plasma, about order and chaos. And if it's more than nature, if it's intentional, then we're not just listening to the universe, we're being spoken to. Coming up, scientists race to explain Omega with 3 bold theories. And each one opens up more questions than answers. 3 hypotheses: resonance, scintillation, shock waves.